Know that you are not alone. You will never be alone, and the devil's gonna try to convince you alone, but baby, we know that the devil is a motherfucking lie. And it was hard for me as a Christian to say that I was battling depression. I don't care if you're just sitting in the house, baby, look like something. Little sleek back ponytail, I will remember, oh baby, you the shit, girl, you is cute. I can't afford to be constantly listening to something that is not feeding my soul or feeding my spirit. It makes me think about sex. It makes me start wanting to text man I shouldn't be texting. Pray and soak. Let God talk back. Give him the space to respond back to you. Drink your water, take your vitamins, and mind your business. You know better, so baby, I'm gonna need you to do better. Because there was times back then where I knew the plan to get me out of a depressive episode. The devil is a liar because he's mad that he got kicked out of heaven. Hey Bookies! So I am starting something new. I decided that every single month I'm going to associate with a certain word, and then we're going to have one video each week additional to my weekly vlogs that go along with that topic. So for the month of February, you guys, our word is overcoming. So this video, as you see by the title, is about overcoming depression and overcoming suicidal thoughts, because that is definitely something I have struggled with, and thank the Lord, things have gotten so much better. So today I'm basically going to give you 10 tips that helped me get over depression. Like, mind you, I still have my moments for sure, but like to have episodes that last for days, weeks, months, baby, I haven't experienced that in a very long time, and I'm so thankful. Number one, admit that you need help. I feel like for so long, especially being a Christian, it was hard for me as a Christian to say that I was battling depression. Because, you know, as a Christian, so many people just be like, God will heal. Just pray to God. Just pray about it. Pray about it. Pray about it. So I didn't feel like I could really seek out to get the help that I needed, whether that was in form of therapy, whether that was me going to the church, whether that was me going to a doctor to get medicine. I was like, if I believe God, I can't use these resources. But y'all, that is such a lie, baby. Go get help. Literally go get help. I ended up having to understand that God literally made these resources for us to use. So I'm sitting up here saying like, no, I'm not going to get any help because God provides all my needs and God heals and God restores. Like, yes, he does. But God also made all of these things accessible to you for you to use if you needed help. So I did go to the doctor and I got prescribed with Celexa. If you guys want more about my Celexa journey, let me know down below in the comments and I'll definitely make sure to talk more about it. But yeah, he started me on Celexa and I've been on Celexa. It's definitely been over 6 months. I don't know if it's been a year quite yet, but y'all, when I tell you starting Celexa changed my life. And I am so thankful for it because y'all, I am telling you, when I'm telling you I was rock bottom, like, it's crazy because like when I used to watch TV and hear about people having depressive episodes and they would show their house and show how messy it gets, they would talk about them not getting up to do their hair, brush their teeth. I used to think, ew, they're just so trifling. But baby, don't speak about something you don't know nothing about, because the fact that I can resonate now, like I understand I was in that kind of pit where my house was a mess. And everybody that knows me knows I don't do dysfunction. I don't do my house being a mess very well. My house was a mess, y'all. I wasn't getting up to do my hair. I didn't care about brushing my teeth. Like, mind you, if I was going to work or something, of course I would make myself look presentable. But on the weekend, I was in bed in the dark. Like, I wouldn't get up to brush my teeth. I wouldn't get up to put myself together. I was in bed in the dark. So baby, step one, admit that you need help. Know that it's okay. Know that it is not embarrassing. There is literally a chemical imbalance in your brain that is causing your moods to do this all the time. It is okay to have help. Number two, finding community. And I know this is going to be scary for my introverted girlies because, baby, trust and believe, I'm an introvert. It may look like I'm an extrovert over camera, but realize it is me by myself most of this time. I am an introvert. So when I say finding community, because we know in the Bible it states that it is not good for man to be alone. Because when you're down and you're by yourself, you have nobody to help you come through. Literally, y'all, I was in such a deep isolation, like not close with family, didn't have friends, wasn't going to church, had nobody. When you are alone, that is when the devil wants to torment your mind the most. That is when the devil has the most access to you, because you're just sitting there with you and your thoughts. And your thoughts are already not in the best place. The devil says, yes, I'm about to mess her up, throw her all off path. That makes the devil so excited, because he knows that it is his time to shine. Find you community. I don't care if you go to a church and find accountability partners there, or if you're just starting to open up to your friends to tell them that this is something that you struggle with. Find you community that will hold you accountable. Tell them what you're struggling with. Don't keep those things in the dark. People that love you need to know that you are struggling with those certain things, so that they know the signs of when it is that they may need to help you or reach out. For example, my people at church know I struggle with depression and isolation. They know that if I stop texting and if I've missed like 2-3 church services, ooh, baby, something is wrong. We got to call Kenzie, because what is going on? They know, because I have told them and I've opened up to them about it. You can't expect people to help you when you've never opened up to anybody about what's happening. So again, I know it's going to be scary, but number 2, I highly suggest that you find a community that will hold you accountable. Find a community that will pray you through it. Find a community that does not allow you to do life alone. Don't do life alone. Number 3, create yourself a happy routine. Now, I know this may sound crazy, but this is what works for me. I literally had to get intentional about the small things of what makes me happy. And it was really simple. It wasn't nothing crazy, y'all. I literally made like, number 1, get up and brush your teeth. Number 2, do something with your head. Because y'all, I will literally be walking around on the weekends looking a mess just because like I'm not going nowhere, so I feel like it's okay to look a mess. No, that literally made the depression worse. I don't care if you're just sitting in the house, baby. Look like something. Look like something. So create a happy routine. Get up, brush your teeth, do something with your hair. Usually for me, like a little sleek back ponytail. I will remember, ooh, baby, you the shit, girl. You was cute, okay? Get you a little slick back ponytail. I've started getting into like matching pajama sets. Why? Just because it makes me feel good. Create a happy routine. Like I know for a fact that Saturdays for me, any start of the weekend, knowing that I don't have a routine to follow and I'm starting to go into I'm by myself mode, I knew was a trigger for me. That is one of the points we're going to get to it. But I will literally say the second you wake up on Saturday after you brush your teeth and you do your hair, put on your gym clothes, even though it's the weekend. Yes, I said it. Put on your gym clothes. Go in the kitchen and drink your vitamin drink. If y'all want more information about that, there's a YouTube video on it. Go in there and drink your green drink. And before you can convince yourself otherwise, go to the gym. Because I am telling you guys, I noticed a pattern with myself that if I got up and I just relocated to the living room couch and got some food, it just never ended well for me. But if I was to wake up and be intentional about what I was about to set out to do, I would have an amazing day. Because y'all know when I'm in the gym, that's my happy place. That's my element. I'll watch my sermon. I am good. Create a routine that will set you up for success. Okay? What is your happy routine? Number 4, listen to music that feeds you. And it's crazy because like I never knew that I would be the type of person that was constantly listening to Christian music or worship music. And y'all know I'm all about self-reflection. So I'm like, where did this come from? But I noticed that I've gotten to a place in my life where I can't afford to be constantly listening to something that is not feeding my soul or feeding my spirit. And for those that don't necessarily know what that means, I'll break it down. When you're listening to Cardi B, and mind you, I am not against Cardi B. I'm not against any of these secular artists. I'm not against it. That's not my conviction just yet. I still listen to secular music. I just don't listen to it as much, okay? But when you're listening to Cardi B or you're listening to Genuine, I know for me, it doesn't feed anything but the thoughts that I shouldn't be thinking. It makes me think about sex. It makes me start wanting to text men I shouldn't be texting. It makes me want to go out and be a ratchet little thoughty, if we're to be real. Like, it does not do anything for me. And I started finding that when I listen to music that feeds and nurtures my soul, I am naturally happier. Like, I'll have my worship music playing. I'll have my Christian music playing. Mind you, you can find good Christian music. I'm working on a playlist right now. It gives you straight R&B vibes, y'all. I kid you not, but it is Christian. Oh my God, it makes your mood so much better. Like, you don't even think about it. I don't even know how to explain it. Because like there's even sometimes where I'll go to sleep and I'll allow sermons to play. And even though I was sleeping, my spirit still retained it because I'll wake up thinking about things of that sermon. And so it's like just having that kind of music on, whether you're fully paying attention or not. Because I know people with secular music will always say, well, you know, I don't really focus on the words, it's just the beat. You're not focused on the words, but your spirit is digesting those words. It is doing something with what it is hearing, okay? Trust and believe it is. And so when you start feeding your spirit with good things constantly, you start to feel better. I promise you, you start to feel better. So step number 4, start feeding your soul. Start feeding yourself things that are going to help you and grow you and nurture your spirit. Number 5, pray and soak. Pray and soak. I talk about soaking a lot in my vlogs. Pray to the Lord. I know there's a lot of people, especially when depression hits. I know this is a big one for me. I don't always know what to pray. So my prayers were never lengthy. Sometimes all I could pray was, Lord, I really don't know what to pray. I pray that you see my heart. I pray that you see that I need you. I pray that you see that I need help and I don't know what to do. Sometimes that's all I could say. Sometimes all I could say was, God help me. And that's it. You don't always have to have this extravagant prayer to be able to connect with God. I don't want you to ever think that. Now, sometimes I did have lengthy prayers, and it was like I was on the phone with my homegirl just crying about everything that was going wrong in my life. But I just want to come and tell you guys that it doesn't have to be a fancy prayer to connect with God. So when I say pray and soak, I say soak because so many people, they'll pray, they'll go straight to sleep. I tell people that's like calling your best friend, telling them all about your day, and then once you're done telling them about your day, like, all right, bye. It's like, dang, she wasn't even gonna let me talk back. Like, you didn't even care about what I had to say. Like, nothing. That's crazy. So when I say soak, there's literally a soaking playlist. You can type in Apple Music, YouTube, whatever, soaking music. It's like meditation but Christian based. And so you'll play that and just sit there. And for starters, if 5 minutes is too much, baby, challenge yourself to sit there for a minute. And then maybe the next week or the next month, whatever works for you, challenge yourself to up it to 2 minutes. So after you pray, turn on that soaking music and you sit there. With you sitting there after you've prayed, that is you giving the Lord a chance to respond back to everything that it is that you've prayed to him. And even if it was one of those times where you're like, well, I didn't really pray anything because I didn't know what to pray. Remember that God's just happy that you're seeking him first. God already knows what your heart is crying out for. He is happy that you sought him. So the second you sit in his presence, he's like, my baby is trying to hear from me. Here you go. And it's going to be gentle. And if y'all want more videos on like how to hear the Lord's voice, because I feel like I can go into so many different directions, just let me know and we can take it there. But just know that step 5 is to pray and soak. Let God talk back. Give him the space to respond back to you. And mind you, y'all, these are not in no type of order, because honestly, pray and soak should have been number 1. I was just starting to write off stuff that I was thinking in my head or whatever. So anyway, I'm about to run into Target. I'll be back with the next 5 tips. Bye. Number 6, know your triggers. So I know I kind of touched on this a bit earlier, but know what your triggers are. I can't tell you what those are. They're different for everybody. I know for me, just the weekend was a trigger. The weekend, not having structure is a trigger for me. Why? Because with no structure means I can do whatever I want to do. And my brain wants to sit up here and sulk and be sad for whatever reason. That's what I want to do. So for the weekends, I have to be intentional about my happy routine, my agenda, and my schedule. Because as long as I do those things, I know that I'll have a great day. So understand your triggers. I know for me, I know I had mentioned your happy routine. Let me think, what other triggers are there? I know my mom was a trigger. Like if she would start texting me some BULLSHIT, that was a trigger for me. That was a trigger for me. And so in those times, I call my friend or I talk to the Lord. I've been up, I turn my music on, set the atmosphere. Know what your triggers are. That point is going to be really short because like I said, at the end of the day, I don't know y'all's triggers, so I can't speak to those. So yeah, point number 6, know your triggers. Number 7, get outside and get some sun. Y'all, when I tell you on the weekend, I would be so used to just sitting in my house in the dark, not getting out of my bed unless it was for some food. I was content just sitting in the dark and feeling bad for myself. Like, it makes no sense how easy it is to make yourself a victim. But when I say get outside, like literally, if DoorDash was too much or something and it forced me to go get it myself, the second I stepped outside, I was like, it's beautiful out here. Like, and then automatically my mood shifted. And then I would always say to myself, like, dang, I wish I would have just stepped outside sooner. My day probably would have been a lot better. Like, I don't know what it is, the signs of the sun, or what it is about daylight. It does something different. Like, I don't care if that means you just walked to the mailbox. I don't care if that means you just went outside on your balcony. Y'all, I wasn't even doing that. I got a whole balcony, wasn't even going outside. Stepping outside does so much for your mental health. I don't know the science behind it. Just trust me. Number 7, get your butt outside. Number 8, drink your water and take your vitamins. When you start to feel better, everything gets better, okay? Like, first of all, I don't know the science of all of this, y'all. Just trust me. Drink your water, take your vitamins, and mind your business. You will start feeling like that, girl. Like, I understand that, like, the chemical imbalance in your head or whatever may not be cured from taking some vitamins and drinking water, but, like, you taking care of yourself will in turn make you feel good overall. You know what I mean? So, what was that? Number 8, make sure you drink your water. Make sure you take your vitamins. Number 9, keep your space clean. It was when I was younger that I think I heard a quote that says something like, you can tell a lot about a person's mind by how they keep their spaces. And I was like, what do you mean by that? I used to have this friend that was scatterbrained. I mean, couldn't stay on topic to save her life. I remember the first time I went to her house. Oh my God. It was like all hell broke loose. It wasn't clean, clothes everywhere, just a mess. And that's when I knew that's what that quote meant, because baby, the way that your place looks is how your mind is, okay? And so I know for me, and anybody that knows me knows that if my house is dirty, I must be going through it mentally, because keeping my space clean, keeping things tidy, keeping things smelling, keeping things smelling lemony fresh, like, it does something to my spirit. It makes me so happy. It makes me want to get up and be productive. It makes me want to be better. I don't know what it is, but just trust me, Bookie. It makes you feel so much better when your space around you is clean. I believe it gives you a clear bubble to think properly. Because, like, even last night, and you'll see, watch the weekly vlog that's going to drop on Monday. But you'll see that in that vlog, like, my house, I don't think I showed it. Anyway, my house was a mess, and I was low-key having my little depressive episode because a lot of things are going on in my life right now. And I did not want to get up and clean it because I was like, I'd rather sit in this bed and sulk and be depressed. I knew that was not the smart thing to do, because I knew that if I didn't get up to clean my house, that feeling that I was feeling yesterday would carry into today, into the next day. And I was like, I can't afford it. I got up and cleaned my space, and when I tell y'all, I feel so much better. Step number 9. Keep your space clean. Do some cleaning up. Get it smelling lemony fresh up in there. Number 10, be kind to yourself. Know that you're trying. I'm proud of you for being proactive. I'm proud of you for seeking help. I'm proud of you for watching this video, trying to find ways to be better. Give yourself grace and be kind. One thing that I regret the most on my journey of trying to get myself help is how mean I was to me. Like, I was thinking I was just being lazy. I was thinking that I was just worthless. Like, every mean thought that you can think of, I was thinking that about myself. Why? Because I didn't understand that there's truly a chemical imbalance in my head that needs some, I don't know what the word is, that needs some help. So I just wasn't the kindest to myself. And of course, that didn't help the situation. Life is already beating you down. You don't need to add on to it. The most you can do, and the most you should be doing, is saying it's going to get better. Hang in there. Just hold on. It's going to be okay. You need to be speaking life into yourself, not beating yourself even more down to the ground. You don't deserve that. Be kind. So those are all the tips that I could think of at the top of my head that I feel like helped me overcome my depression. Now, I say overcome, but understand that I use overcome and not overcoming, because I honestly feel like I've made it out. Because even though I still have my moments, I feel like I'm in such a better spot where I'm able to know how to get myself out of those moments, and I actually act on it. And that's one of those things where it's like, you know better, so baby, I'm gonna need you to do better. Because there was times back then where I knew the plan to get me out of a depressive episode, but I would literally choose to sit there and sulk. It made no sense. I don't know what it was. I literally chose to sit there. I'm just thankful that the Lord brought me out. And I just want to pray for Anybody that is struggling with depression, anybody that is struggling with having suicidal thoughts, I just want you to know that it's going to get better. And I don't mean that in like that cliche way of like, everything is going to be all right. I understand that's really hard to hear. But coming from somebody who's actually experienced what that lowness feels like, literally, y'all, 5 years ago, I was not trying to be here. I was not. And that's what gets me emotional every time I'm listening to a sermon or anything that truly hits me deep. My life is so beautiful now. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, but just seeing how much has changed. And I'm like, you were going to miss out on all of this. And this isn't even it. Like, this ain't even the promised land. That's wild. So just hang in there. It's going to be okay. Speak life over yourself. Go get you some help. And it takes time. But anyway, y'all, that's all I have for you guys today. Know that I love you so much. Let me know what you guys think about this new series or whatever I'm doing with giving each month a word and having intentional topics about it. Let me know what you think down in the comments if you feel like you want me to continue to do videos like this. If you have video suggestions of what you want me to talk on, comment that as well. DM me, whatever the case may be. But just know that you're not doing life alone. If you're subscribed to my channel, Bookie, and you stand up for watching me right now, you is my Bookie. And I ride for my Bookies, period. So know that you are not alone. You will never be alone. And the devil's going to try to convince you alone. But baby, we know that the devil is a motherfucking liar. The devil is a liar because he's mad that he got kicked out of heaven. He got kicked out of heaven and he can't come back up in there. And now he want to be upset and make God's children feel like they kicked out of heaven too. And it ain't true, because you was never too messy for God. You was never too messy for God. God is always happy for you to come back home no matter what you've been through. God, what the Bible said if you make your bed in hell, God is going to be right there with you. God going to be like, baby, I didn't, I wasn't trying to have you end up here, but since you took this route, I'm going to get down in the mud with you, but how long we gonna be here? Like, when you gonna decide that my way is better? Oh, that was good. Come on. See, I was trying to end this vlog and something told me, let me tell y'all, there's some people on the other side of this camera that thinks they've done too much to come back to God. Baby, that's not true. That's why they say God will leave the 99 for the one. You are that one. God wants you. I don't care how many times you've forsaken God. I don't care how many times you have cursed God, cussed him out, whatever the case may be. It's okay to be mad at your daddy. It's okay to cuss your daddy out. I mean, it's not okay, but I know some people out there be getting kind of reckless. It is okay to have feelings towards your father. That is natural. But it's just the thing, like I posted on TikTok the other day, I'd rather be mad at my father than do life without my father. Okay? I'd rather be mad, upset, cuss a little bit than to sit up here and turn my back and say that my way is better. Y'all feel me? Okay, anyway, I'm going for real. I love y'all so much. Okay, bye! Can I show my love for you?